In this video, I will be showing you how to draft a Queen Anne neckline pattern. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Bolaji and this is Regal School of Fashion. A Queen Anne neckline is a unique neckline with a slight rise at the back of the neck that looks like a collar but is actually a one-piece neckline. This regal neckline was first embraced by the Queen Anne of Britain herself, who popularized the neckline during her reign in the 18th century. The modern version of the Queen Anne neckline has a very high neck at the back, which is also known as a built-up neckline, and a wide open front neckline design, which can be paired with a sweetheart shape, a scoop neckline, or a V neckline at the front. This type of neckline can be commonly seen on bridal gowns, owambe dresses, and evening gowns. Make sure you stick to this video to the end, because in the course of this tutorial, I will be sharing top secrets on how to draft, cut, and sew this neckline perfectly. Enough of this talk and let's get to work. Guys, now it's time to draft the front panel of our Queen Anne neckline pattern. So in doing this, the first step is to measure what I have on the back panel. And as I said when I was drafting the back panel, if you don't know how to construct or draft a sweetheart neckline, I have varieties of videos on how to draft a sweetheart neckline pattern, sweetheart neckline with yoke, and sweetheart neckline with strap. Kindly check the description area below for the link to the tutorials. So in constructing the Queen Anne front neckline, I will have to take the measurements I have on the back neckline. This is because the two are going together, so when I'm ready to join, I will not have a shortage or excess. So I will take the measurement from the armhole point upward to the 2 inches point I measured in constructing this. Now you have to take note of this. I have my seam allowance added already. I'm not taking the measurement on the seam allowance I cut out, but on the real measurement I drafted before adding my seam allowance. So I will start taking the measurement from this point, not from the edges of my pattern paper. So I will measure the shoulder line and curve it upward to the 2 inches point. And here I have 7 inches. So I will note the measurement, put the back panel aside, and start working on the front panel. So for the front panel, firstly I will extend the shoulder line forward. So this is coming towards the center front. Like so. Then I will insert the exact measurement I took on the back panel, which is 7 inches. I will take the measurement from the armhole point following the shoulder line I drafted out. And I have it here. And as you can see, I left 1 inch upward at the top of my front pattern because I know I will be needing some space at the front. So you need to leave about 1 to 2 inches at the upper part before your starting point line. So here is the 7 inches point. Then I will take that point upward by 1/2 inch. So here is the 1/2 inch point. Then with a slight curve, I will connect this to the shoulder line. Now you can see this. So instead of the shoulder line to come straight upward like so, so now I have this, as my shoulder line upward to the neckline point, and I will highlight this out with my blue marker. Then I have this. Okay, so having done this, the next step is to draft out our queen hand neckline. So in drafting the queen hand neckline, the first step is to decide how deep you want the neckline to be. Okay, don't forget you have your chest level. No matter how deep your neckline will be, it must not go below the chest level, except you want to expose the bust area intentionally. Okay, so this is your boundary for your neck depth. You can make the chest level your neck depth, or bring it upward by 2 inches, or how much you want it to be deep. So as for me, I will be going for 7.5 inches for the neck depth, and this measurement has to be taken from the starting point line. Don't forget, this is our real starting point line, which I labeled out, the straight line I have here. So that is the point you will measure out your neck depth. So from the starting point line, I will measure out 7.5 inches, so which is 1 inch above the chest level. You can see that. So then I will make a straight line. Okay, so in drafting a queen hand neckline pattern, your neckline is going to be in 2 levels. The one I just drafted out is the second level. So here is the second level, and I'll have to decide the point I want the first level to be. Firstly, I will label this as the second level neck depth. So now I have this labeled as the second level neck depth. Now in getting the first level neck depth, you can either get the midpoint of the whole neck depth you have here, which is the 7.5 inches I measured for the second neck depth. I can decide to get the midpoint, so which means I'm sharing this equally for the first and the second neck depth. So I can decide to make the half of it the first level neck depth, or make the first level more than the second level. But this looks more beautiful when the first level neck depth is more than the second level neck depth. Don't forget, in total I have 7.5 inches. So I can decide to use 5 inches for the second level. Half of 7.5 is 3.75. So that is going to be the half if you want to make use of the half. But I want the first level to be more than the second level. So I will measure 5 inches, or let me use 4.5 inches. There's no rule that guides this. It all depends on how you want your queen hand neckline to be. You know, you can have different shape and design for your queen hand neckline. So this is the point where you can decide the shape. So now I have this point as 4.5 inches, and I will make it a straight line. Don't forget, I'm taking the measurement from the starting point line. I will connect the point together and label it as my first level neck depth. So after getting the first level and the second level neck depth, the next step is to insert the wideness of the first level neck depth, so which is here. So I will have to decide how wide I want this part to be as well. It all depends on your preference. So I can decide to go for the midpoint. So with the midpoint, it will not be too wide or too close. So which is here. If I measure out what I have on the midpoint, this is 4 inches, and it's fine by me. But if I want it wider, don't forget, the more measurement you have here, the more open this part will be. This is the armhole area. The more exposed you want this to be, then you will have to increase this measurement. If you want this part to be very close, then you will have to reduce the measurement. But this is just a standard, marking out the midpoint of your first level neck depth. So you can add to it if you like, or subtract from this if you want. So after marking out your neck depth, then the next step is to construct our queen hand neckline. So in constructing the queen hand neckline, this is going to be paired together with a sweetheart neckline, as I said. So I'll come to the upper part of my pattern. On the 1/2 inch point I measured upward, I will be connecting the point to the neck width point I marked out on the first level neck depth, like so. And as you can see, the positioning of my ruler, the curved part of my ruler is facing towards the center front, not like this. If you position your curved ruler like this, you are going to have another thing entirely, not a queen hand neckline. But the positioning has to be like this. Then I will connect like so. Okay, so after connecting this, then I will come to the second level neck depth and make a sweetheart neckline. So I will be constructing the sweetheart neckline by connecting this point, which is the first level neck width point, to the center front point I have on the second level neck depth, this point and this point, like so. So you can see the positioning of my ruler still the same. The way I position for this is the way I positioned for the sweetheart as well. So with your own creative ideas, you can come up with a very beautiful queen hand neckline. Okay, then I have this. So the measurement you are seeing here is for 4 inches. Now let's assume I want this to come down more than this, and I want to extend the wideness forward as well, so that you will see the difference. So the first level neck depth, I'm taking it downward by 1 inch. Okay, so I'm just doing this for you guys to have a different view of the queen hand neckline. Then for the neck depth, instead of the 4 inches I used here, I will use 5 inches. Then I'll mark it out. You can see that. So all I need to do is just to connect from the 1/2 inch point to the 5 inches point I marked out, like this, and I'll connect this with my marker, like so. Then to the sweetheart neckline, I will have it like so. So that's all, guys. It all depends on you. It all depends on your preference. It all depends on the shape you want for your queen hand neckline. I can decide to go for any of the 2 designs I have on my pattern. So after drafting out your queen hand neckline, don't forget you will need to add your seam allowances. This is very important. Your seam allowances is very important. You can either add this directly on your pattern, or cut out your pattern first and add your seam allowance on your fabrics. Now on the shoulder line I have here, I will follow the shape I have and measured 1/2 inch upward. That 1/2 inch is my seam allowance. Anytime you are constructing any design, you must not joke with your seam allowances. This is very important. I have my 1/2 inch of seam allowance here. Then on the neckline area as well, I will take this point upward by 1/2 inch. Then I will add my seam allowance of 1/2 inch downward as well, choosing any of the 2 necklines like this, 1/2 inch like this. Then after adding this, then I can go ahead and add 1/2 inch on the armhole and 1 inch by the side. So guys, now I have my seam allowances added all around my pattern, as you can see. So you can see the shape I have for my queen hand neckline. I follow the shape in marking out my seam allowance. On the shoulder line, I took this upward by 1/2 inch, so which is the part I highlighted with my red marker. Then follow this shape as well. I took this downward also by 1/2 inch, and this also by 1/2 inch. So the red part, that is the part I drafted with my red marker, is what I will be cutting out. Then I extended this outward to the armhole area. I added 1/2 inch on the armhole and 1 inch by the side. Then I can go ahead and cut out my pattern. So guys, this is what I have for my queen hand neckline pattern. As you can see, the shape really come out well and is looking so beautiful. So all I will be doing now is to cut this out on my fabrics, just for you guys to see how it looks on fabrics. I will cut it out, join the front and back together, pin it on my mannequin for you guys to see the final look. So guys, here is the final look of our queen hand neckline. This is the front with a sweetheart shape. Why I have this for the back, guys, this is just a rough cut with my leftover fabrics, but in your own case you will need to finish up the neckline neatly, either with a lining or a facing. Go ahead and try yours, then share your experience with me at the comment section. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you, and I will see you in my next video. Remember, there is no elevator to success. You have to take the stairs.